Well, I think we're in a better mental place, Michael. The confidence level's higher. I think guys are, have accepted their role much more secure in who they are. I think, that's a huge difference. We're in a much better place defensively, probably close to the same place offensively. But our defense is much better at this time of year than last year. One, personnel has really helped. And again, he's right. I don't know if we were trash, but we weren't. I don't know if we were as solid of a team or together, chemistry-wise, as we were this year compared to last year.
That's one thing that Mar was saying. Immediately after the sweep to Washington, he and Kyle were talking hours after about what it was going to take. Is there, I don't want to say maybe buy-in's the wrong word, but their initiative to do that? Have you seen the kind of leadership flow from them and everybody else buying into how they approach it?
Well, the thing about it is there are two leaders, and you're going to go the way your leaders go. They've done an excellent job of leading the team through thick and thin, and they set the tone. So, yes, to answer your question, yes, they do an excellent job of leading the team. The guys follow them. The way Kyle and DeMar go, the team goes in more ways than one. But they've done an excellent job this year of being leaders and handle being professional every step of the way. So no, they're exactly right, and they started that from training camp.
In terms of setting the tone for the series, how important is Game 1?
It's important. The series is not over by any means, but it's important that you go out and get a good tone. Last year we started out in overtime the first game. So again, winning Game 1 is big. I don't know what the percentages are of winning Game 1, but I've seen a lot of series where you lose Game 1, the series is not over. I think you can't just drop your head and give in because of Game 1. Again, we're excited. We feel like we have an advantage at home. The way Indiana plays with their physicality, grabbing, holding, bumping, and grinding, we got to play through that. And I'd much rather be doing that at home than on the road.
77%.
77%.
Dwane, you spent the last basically 5 or 6 games of the regular season sort of walking that fine line between rest and rust and trying to figure out what's best. How happy are you with the rhythm that these guys will go into the season?
Well, we'll see. Again, I wish I could tell you how it's going to go tomorrow, but I feel like we're in a good place rhythm-wise. I don't know if guys didn't shut down as much. Kyle didn't miss as many straight games as he did the year before. DeMar didn't. JV missed some because of injuries. But I think we're in a better rhythm going into the playoffs than we were last year, just because of not just totally shutting guys down, or because I think that's very difficult to do, is go from there to a playoff game.
Coach, how much better is the Kyle Lowry you have this year compared to where he was last year with the back injury and the changes he went through physically in the summertime?
Huge. I mean, he's a different player just because he's healthy. Last year, his back, his calf, whatever it was, he had a lot of stuff going on physically. So they kept him from being the player that he was before the All-Star break. And so he's healthy. We rested him this year. He had one issue, the elbow issue, which got cleared up. So he's in a different place physically, more so than he was last year, which in turn helps his confidence level, helps his mental approach as well.
And you're confident that elbow is not an issue at all?
He hasn't mentioned anything, or there's been reports, so I assume it is. You have to ask him, but I assume it's 100%.
How different and how much more of a reliable player is he when you need someone to take over a game than he was when you first came together?
Totally different player. Kyle has gotten, he may deny that, but he's gotten better as a player in his time here. He's improved. His confidence level has gone up. He's gone from being whether it was backup or whatever you want to call him in Houston, to an all-star. So he's gotten better here, and he's made himself into an all-star player. Yes, as far as his ability to take over a game from since he got here, he's head and shoulders above that and past that. I know he was splitting time with Dragic in Houston, and just totally different player, totally different place in life. And he's a big reason why we are, second in the conference and have grown in the last, 3 or 4 years.
Thank you.
That it?
Is the team showing the consistency that you wanted them to show?
Not all the time. We're getting there. We're not there yet, 100% as far as our consistent defensive approach. I thought the last few games we were kind of up and down like that, and some of it is the malaise you go through. We weren't moving up. I don't know if we weren't moving up to catch Cleveland. We weren't moving down. We're kind of stuck in second place. But a lot less time than we were last year. Last year we sewed up the division in the spot, really early, and this year we're kind of catch Cleveland, trying to catch Cleveland, and then we were looking behind us to see Atlanta, see where they were, but then there came a time where neither one of them were possible. So that messes with your consistency a little bit, playing wise.
Coach, how important are the fans going to be, especially tomorrow when you're playing at such an early hour? You're going to have people lined up at 9 a.m., on a Saturday ready to.
Well, I think it's important. One thing that I told our young guys, that's great, good and bad. Young guys who are coming in the new situation, we don't want them to be paralyzed by our fans, because we have some of the great fans. But we got to give them a reason to cheer, be excited. But they're great. I think it's going to be a great thing for our motivation as far as playing, the excitement. But we can't let that paralyze us as far as being intimidated by it. They're so good. But again, I know a lot was made about, me saying that we were playing at 12:30. Again, if it's 6 o'clock, if you're a basketball player, you're a hooper, you're going to play at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock at night. And I tell the guys all the time, if you were on the street, if you weren't in the NBA, you'd be playing somewhere in a gym. Whether it's down at the rec club or rec league or some high school or whatever, you'd be playing. No matter whatever time they told you to be there, you'd be there. So that's the way this Saturday is going to be at 12:30. We got to be ready to go because we're going to get a hard charging, like I said, team that's going to be grabbing, holding, hitting, slashing, ripping. So if we're not ready for that at 12:30, we might as well stay home.
Coach, you talked yesterday about how you see the Pacers as kind of a mirror image of yourselves, which I presume is primarily in defensive mindedness. To what extent do you think the similarities exist on the offensive side of the ball as well?
Well, they run a lot of pick and rolls. They have a dominant wing player who has the ball a lot, has quite a few ISO situations in Paul George. But again, mostly they don't go through the post a lot. We have Jonas in the post, but they really don't feed Jan Mahimi in the post a lot. So that's where the similarities are, is the wing offensive players in Paul George and that situation. But again, they're a lot like us. They want to play physical defense. They're one of the best teams in the league at turning you over and converting on the other end. And we got to play through their physicality. The grabbing, hitting, holding. I was watching films of Stuckey grabbing and bear hugging people coming off pin down. So we got to get mentally ready for that, and see how the officials call it.
I don't know how much you can or will say, but do you know right now how you're going to use Damari or what you'd like to see from Damari?
We know exactly how we're going to use him. So, but we'll keep that in house.
Tomorrow there's going to be a lot of noise as well. A lot of fans are going to be so excited to be there. What do you tell your players when it's overwhelming?
Is consistency. You got to have a consistent. Your emotions have to be consistent. Go out and play. It's basketball. We can't get caught up in the emotions of the game. But we'd rather have it for us than the other team. But that's my only concern with the young players. And again, they've played in big games. Norm has played at UCLA in Pac-10 tournament, Pac-12. So with him coming in, Bismack has to get used to it. Corey should be used to it. He's played in the NBA Finals before and been there, seen the excitement. So, and our guys from last year going through the last couple of years know what to expect from our great fans.